Good morning, hope you're having an amazing day. It's Mark Wiens, I'm in Copenhagen, Denmark, and today we're going on a Danish food tour, but we're gonna do a mix of different things. I know for lunch we're going to a castle, and we're gonna eat a lunch there. But first, to begin this day, we are going to a very well-known place to eat SMØRREBRØD. Those are the open-faced Danish sandwiches. I'm still getting the hang of the pronunciation, and we're gonna see the process and eat a bunch of the open-faced sandwiches to begin with. Hello, good morning.
Hey, I'm gonna
Beginning, but you pronounce that more like an O, I believe, so it's omans. Just want to quickly tell you a little bit of history because I was reading about SMØRREBRØD before, and typically it is made on rye bread, and the actual name just means bread and butter. So in its most simple form, it's just bread and butter. But as it developed, and because of the Danish ingredients, people started adding more things like pickled herring is very common. And I was reading even historically, previously, people would even take leftovers from the night before. Maybe they had meatballs, maybe they had different dishes, and they'd put that onto a piece of rye bread, and that would be a sandwich that they would take with them to eat the next day as well. So it's then constantly evolving, it's a constantly creative, open-faced Danish sandwich, and so we're gonna see that entire process now.
the color, right, and make it less intense, the flavor.
He makes sure to put everything like evenly around the entire piece of bread so that when you take a bite, it all like, you get everything in your mouth at once, all the different toppings, all the different ingredients. And next on, he is grating on some fresh horseradish, and immediately as he grates that, you can smell that aroma. I love horseradish. Herring, almost always eaten with red onions, right? That combination.
It's the most classic.
It's the most classic.
Traditions about history in a piece of SMØRREBRØD, but there's also a lot of traditions about how we're gonna eat it. As a tradition in Danish lunch is when we sit down, the family on the long tables, we have all these different components on the table. We always start with the herring.
Okay.
And with that, we say skål, cheers, with a snaps. This is made from American Gale, especially with the herring. So now you just get used to it.
Yeah, like it's really like, it has like a very herbal kind of spice to it. And then you can eat it with fork and knife. And that would maybe be the more traditional
dare
way.
you not to do it.
But okay, I got the okay to pick it up with my fingers. And the buckwheat, and some crunchy buckwheat. Oh wow. Oh yeah. Immediately notice all the textures.
But you can also feel that you need them.
You've got like the crumbliness of the rye bread, the creaminess of that cream. The herring is also like, it's a little bit sweet and sour, and I gotta follow that with some more.
Right, now you have to do it.
Yeah.
Now you have to taste the snaps.
And that completes, this is just, that's incredible. Oh, and the horseradish. The horseradish is like, it's mild, but it's kind of like subtly blends into everything.
Of the flavors and the textures you would get in a steak beneath.
Oh. Yeah. That is delicious steak.
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna make the next one now. This one is beautiful. It is like a open-faced steak roast beef sandwich. He puts on the beef, then he put on pickled cucumbers, then some of the sauce, then pickled mushrooms. Then he finished that one off with some of the their fried potatoes, but like little strands of potatoes deep fried so they're fully crispy, and then some sprigs, some sprouts on the top. It is just unbelievably beautiful. I can't wait to try this one.
Let's make it messy.
All right, good. I got the whole piece of steak in that bite. So, yeah, this one is a highlight for sure. The steak, the complementing like flavors and textures is just, it's just a harmony.
So this is the leg, the back leg of the animal. We clean down, so we have no fat, no sinews, anything. So it's very, very, very lean. Mix it with a cold pressed rapeseed oil. I would say approximately 75 grams of meat here. To make the balance for me, that's the important perfect amount.
I love the rule that they have here. And if you look at it from directly from the top, from the bird's eye view, you don't see any bread. Always a fan of raw meat. I love raw meat. So this one is the steak tartare. So you can even see like kind of the herbs within the meat. He spreads that out. He added on just an assortment. There's the radish, crispy radish, an assortment of all the different textural items to go on top, and then finished it off with some hazelnuts and some of the sprouts. We're gonna eat this one again together. And again, love that ratio, how you cannot see the bread. Well, from this angle you can see the bread, but if you look at it from above, you cannot see the bread. Cheers.
Cheers.
We had a little splatter, but it was worth it.
It was everywhere.
Oh man. Oh, that black currant, right? To give it sweetness. Do I have sprouts all over my jacket? That is meat jam, a thick layer of meat jam. It's unbelievably good. Wow.
It's about having a recipe.
The different textures, flavors, combinations, and textures are just like blowing my taste bud. And a lot of people do takeaway, so they pack it so beautifully. Yeah, almost like a box of chocolates, where you get your order in, you get your variety. They're all sectioned off to hold in those ingredients to preserve it all. It's such an art form. It's so beautiful. Well, that was incredibly enjoyable, and also just a lesson on the history and like the progression, the modernization of SMØRREBRØD. Big thank you to Omans and everybody for having us. Yeah, really appreciate it. That was amazing. But we've got a big day of food ahead of us, and we're kind of running a little bit late, so we gotta move. Take a little. No. We're on our way next to a cider house, an apple cider house. We're just gonna spend a little bit of time there and taste some apple cider before we go to lunch, which is about an hour or so outside of Copenhagen at a castle. This place is called Oatmeal, sort of pronounced like that, but I believe that it means kind of like grabbing apples or stealing apples. Come up this first floor, and like immediately that like pile of apples downstairs, you could get an amazing apple aroma. Yeah, it smells like apples in here. Yeah. It started with you and your friend as a hobby.
Just
making apple cider in the garage.
Yeah, we used to work as a sommelier at a wine bar,
okay.
And I guess one day after shift in a combination of booze and euphoria, we decided to make some wine ourselves.
Cool.
But since the climate in Denmark is not suited for grapes, and we both grow up with apples.
Oh, and there's lots of apples in Denmark.
Lots of
like
apples
an abundance
in Denmark,
of apples,
yeah.
right? Okay.
This is Discovery, and it was juiced last Friday.
So this is just juice still.
Well, it is fermenting.
Okay.
But
fermenting.
It's in the beginning of the fermentation.
Okay.
So.
Oh, cool.
You can also see it's more brownish.
Yeah.
That's a sign of fermentation.
Okay. And it has a little bit of a bite to it.
Yeah.
But really.
And you can also feel the carbonation. It's a bit sparkling on the tongue.
A little sparkling, exactly.
And that's a sign of fermentation.
Now this is a blend of apples and a little bit of grapes.
No, actually this is it's pear.
Oh, pear.
Pear and grapes.
Pear and grape. Oh, so there's no apple in this one?
No apple in this one, yeah.
Pear and grape. Yeah, that one is a nice sourness to it.
This is very wild at this stage.
Okay.
So
this is bomb.
So
Wow. Oh yeah, that is like crisp, refreshing, cool.
The one we tasted before with the grapes, but
Okay.
from last year.
Yes.
When you're driving, you need a little glass of cider.
Yes.
It's good.
Yeah. From the site, it was just like a 10-minute drive to Dragsholm Castle. And this is an 800-year-old castle in Denmark. It's now been converted into a historic hotel, plus you can come and visit the castle, tour the castle. But one of the main points of this castle is that they're known for their food. Okay, we're gonna jump in the golf cart.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. We passed through the moat. There's a moat around the castle as well. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, and we're actually gonna drive right into the castle. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Hello. and
Hello,
welcome.
very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi.
Oh, the fireplace. Okay, so before we get started cooking and eating, we're just gonna quickly step outside to see the garden and to see this patio. It is gorgeous here, spectacularly beautiful. Whew, and the air is so crisp, so fresh. Down the steps to the herb garden to taste some of the herbs real fast. What is this?
This is called vanilla grass.
Vanilla grass.
So if we just pick it, it's right. It just looks like plain grass.
Yeah, it does just look like plain grass. Vanilla grass.
Yeah. So we get the small grassy flavor, but the vanilla stuff comes a little bit
Yeah.
almond flavors. And
Yeah. So do you use it as a herb or more like a essence?
I'm using it as an essence.
I think it's sage.
Yes.
This is sage. Wow. Yeah, that smells great. And just this setting, the herbs, the castle in the background, this kind of like garden, herb garden in the front, but just the emphasis on herbs. This is stunning. Yeah. It's such a beautiful location. And then just on the other side of the castle, we just walked over here, they are growing grapes, which this year will be harvested and made into champagne. It's good to walk around, good to see some of the ingredients before we cook the food, just to get a sense of their connection with the local ingredients, and yeah, before we actually eat. Okay, so we're back at the restaurant now and we're gonna get started cooking, but I love the way they've set it up, the open kitchen. It's just like a whole island kitchen in the center with tables around. So not only do you have a sense of connection to the ingredients because all the ingredients are grown around, but you have a sense of connection to the chefs, to the cooking, because you can see it happening, you can smell it happening, and you're eating right around it, and the chef is just about to get started cooking. Yeah, what do we have here?
This here is something in Danish called fuldskær.
Fuldskær.
Yes. If we look outside the window down here, we see an island. Behind that island lies another island that's called Sejr. This here is one of their regional dishes.
Okay.
So this is soaked oatmeal. Then we mix it up with flour.
That's the wrapper.
Exactly.
Okay. His first course is ready, and he's gonna do one last. Yeah, and it looks and smells amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm gonna take a half of one of these. We put on some, I think they're almonds, roasted almonds, or also some hazelnuts.
You want some bread?
Oh wow. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's incredible. The artichokes are in the middle, and maybe sun-dried tomatoes as well. There's that kind of tart flavor on the inside. And then the wrapper is made from oats actually, so it's kind of gummy. You know, those mushrooms on top I'm loving them. So much like meatiness from those mushrooms only. This is some of the sourdough bread that they make here. Oh wow, really quality bread. All the like bounce of it.
And for me, what it gives, if you smell it, if you smell all nutty flavors.
Okay, so chef is now making it's wild duck, which is seared off in its own fat. Plus he tossed in a whole handful of hemp and then stir fried that in some butter, sauteed that in some butter. It just gave me a spoonful to taste test. Oh, it's so good. It's so rich from the butter and the duck fat, but then they've crispified. They're fully crispy, so they just kind of like crunch. He added on some like sour applesauce first, and then added on some of those caramelized carrots in their own juices, and then some of the fried hemp leaves, and then garnished it with some more herbs, and now the final garnish. What is that, chef?
This here is my family's Christmas cake. In Danish it's called brunkager, it's a brown cake. This one here is made with hemp and it's fresh, fried in butter with cinnamon, a little bit of cloves.
Okay.
And then we just add flour and we add a little bit of butter.
So you can, yeah.
Thank you. What a stunner of a dish. The duck seared. I already tasted the hemp leaves, but I love the hemp leaves, the carrots, and he said like cake. It's like his family recipe for cake. Cake like crumbles on there, and then also some sprigs. Wow. How is it, Esmond?
It's very good.
Really good, yeah.
Amazing.
It's so tender. And like cooked perfectly. I think the sweetness maybe is coming from like the, there's some applesauce on the bottom too. That's like from sour apples.
Yeah.
And then the combination of ingredients and textures is just, that is top quality. Really superb. I'm gonna move over to one of these carrots and get some of those hemp leaves. And the texture of those carrots is like, you can feel the layers of the carrot. And then those hemp leaves are just superb. Like, it's like a strong coriander, crispified.
Just heat it up in a little bit of water, butter, salt, and the butter has been infused with the leaves from the onion. This is a sauce made of fermented vegetables and mushrooms.
And then it's literally like an entire, I would call this an entire meadow of herbs and flowers and vegetables all piled high onto your plate. Some of them half cooked, some of them fully cooked, some of them completely raw. And then at table side, he pours on a dressing, or actually it's more like a sauce that's made from fermented vegetables and decomposed vegetables, I think he said. But this is gorgeous. That's like an entire garden on my fork in one bite. Look at that. Oh wow.
That's amazing.
It's like, yeah, the sauce is almost cheesy. Maybe from those decomposed vegetables. Wow. Like, that's entirely more flavorful than I thought. And then as you continue to chew, you taste the like herbal pepperiness of some of those herbs. And then one thing I'm searching for is the green onion down here. Okay, I guess I could have cut that with my knife, but that was more fun. And another thing I loved about Chef was that he said he wants everybody that eats here to feel comfortable and to act like this is their home. So he said, if you want to take off your shoes while you're eating, that's totally fine. Thank you.
You're welcome. So in Denmark, this is called sibok thorn. This is the Nordic passion fruit.
Oh yeah, those are the actual berries.
Yes.
Ah,
This
cool.
is the berries.
Okay.
Just been marinated with a bit of icing sugar.
Okay.
The granite made out of mint and sorrel and apples.
The components, the colors, I love everything fits together. It's just beautiful. And white chocolate mousse on the bottom, and then the Scandinavian berries on the top with an icy. So I'll try some. I can't wait to try those berries actually. I'll try the white chocolate mousse. Maybe a little bit of everything all together. Okay, perfect. Oh, it's very good. Really good. The white chocolate mousse is like really creamy, but not too heavy. It's like solid cream, but not too sweet. Then paired with the cold, like iciness, kind of like appley tasting, and then the pickled or like preserved berries, which do have kind of a passion fruit taste to it.
It's good.
For sure, one of the best desserts I've had in a long time. Micah, I was supposed to walk out of the door on the shot. Oh, whew. It is crisp and fresh and cold out here, but you gotta smell the fire. In this courtyard, castle courtyard. That was an outstanding lunch. I loved how it's plant-driven, herb-driven, local-driven. Thanks to Chef Klaus. Man, this is the type of place you would want to come, eat, relax, and then go to sleep. And they do have a hotel. Next time, I'm definitely not coming without staying here for the night. Okay, we have actually one more stop on this Danish food tour today, and this is a place called Møllebrød. And again, they are known for their locally driven, especially vegetables and herbs directly from their farm that they serve at the restaurant. This is a beautiful place again.
A restaurant where we grow all the ingredients ourselves.
Everything is sourced from their farm, from their property, from the vegetables to the meats. So it's like, it's completely, as she mentioned, you just walk outside of the door, you pick and you grab whatever you're gonna serve for the day. It's an amazing philosophy. We're walking out to the field now to see some of the produce, some of the vegetables. Again, like the health, the beauty of the vegetables. That cabbage, that's not even a cabbage, that's like a rose, a floral cabbage. That's a rose cabbage. That's gorgeous. And then it's just blooming and healthy and green and lush. And this is a theme that's been occurring today as well as within Nordic cuisine, Danish cuisine, is the freshness of ingredients. And what I've noticed is the passion of people behind it. There's so much people, there's so much passion between the people that produce the food, that source the food, that make the food, that are like part of the food. And that's what really stands out in Copenhagen, in Denmark. And I think we're going over to see the pigs and maybe have a pig snack.
And no alcohol, so.
Chef Jens has come out with some porky treats, and there's no better place to eat it next to the pigs. These are the pigs, and so we're gonna stand and snack a few things. There's some pork like in its own fat, and that looks stunning, and then some of their home preserved pickles and cherries and carrots. Man, it's beautiful, and this setting is spectacular.
It is.
Dig in.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cheers. Thank
Cheers.
you.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Perhaps it's too sour. I don't know. Depends on.
No, I like
I
it.
like the.
I like it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. Sweet and sour.
Jeg skulle sige fra...
Margarine.
Thank you.
Maybe you use some of the...
Yeah, the cucumber is very
Cucumber
good
is
with
very
the.
good.
Okay, but first I'm gonna start with the pork in its fat with bread and pickles.
Tror du, han kan lide det, Jens?
Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh, that's spectacular. Oh man, again, that's meat jam. Smoky, fatty, that's lardy and delicious. Oh, it's so flavorful.
So, you know,
Okay, I can't wait to try some of the cup. Oh wow, that melts in your mouth like a piece of pork candy. Okay, and then this one is actually not a cherry. This is a little baby apple, which has been pickled, preserved. Delicious, like creamy.
What are they doing outside our small plot?
Fermented carrot. Yeah, just like increases the crispness of it too.
Yeah.
Like it's more
The
crispy.
texture is kind of cool.
Yeah, the texture is, it snaps. It's wonderful. And then
Also,
just like,
the acidity is like natural acidity from the fermentation, and it's not too salt because I mean it's only 3%.
not too salty.
So this is more like like cooking it or like a it's not cooked, like it's not heated, but it's not it is kind of like inspired by preservation, classic preservation, but it won't keep for years. Okay, it's a little bit before, so take care not kick it too hard.
the preserved pickles, the meats, they're just stunning. And the setting and just the passion that you can taste in every bite. It all begins with very healthy, very huge, very happy pigs, and just they live a very happy life. They eat well. They have plenty of space to roam around this beautiful farm, and that really is the first step. That really is the respect that the animals deserve, to be able to respect them for this kind of food. And I love what they've done here. It literally is like farm to table. Oh, and our table right there. Ooh, it is getting cold now. I'm just gonna sit down here real fast. That's gonna bring us to the end of this day. And this was a fantastic way to wrap up this day. They're amazing people here at Mold. I mean, today we've met so many people again who are so beyond passionate, more like live it as a lifestyle to serve ultra high quality, honest ingredients. Like from their hearts, and that's been the story of today. And it's been a spectacular day of Danish food in actually the surrounding western part of the island of Zealand, outside of Copenhagen. And so, yeah, what a day. I will have all the places we visited in the description box below that you can check out. And I want to say a massive thank you to Visit Copenhagen for arranging everything, for setting everything up. And whew, yeah, it's cold. Okay, I'm gonna say bye from here. I want to say a big thank you to you for watching this video, and also be sure to subscribe and also click the little bell icon so you get notified of all the next videos that I publish instantly, and check out all of the Copenhagen Danish food videos as well in this series. Thanks again for watching. Goodbye, and I will see you on the next video.